Okay. Let me see if I can. All right, so we'll be on a little bit of a delay, Keichun, just so you know, because like we've started, but it's not actually broadcasting on YouTube. We'll just be on a little bit of a delay. So, okay, welcome everybody to our special Rank in the Bank call for this week. And today we have the incredible Keichun Graves with us, and she's going to be talking to us a little bit about the leadership ladder. So I don't know if you guys have noticed, but the way that our group works is whatever the speaker is talking about on Monday is basically our topic for the entire week. And even though our Rank in the Bank group is pushing for rank, that's the name of the group, we really wanted to make sure to give a well-rounded experience to all of you guys, because rank is not the end-all and be-all of your business. And in fact, rank without substance behind it really doesn't make a very great business at all. So that's why we've been talking about how to build volume and how to, build social media. And this week we're talking about the leadership ladder, which I'm really excited about because it's something that as a leader of a team, I love to use, and I think that it was a really cool thing that Beachbody decided to create and add in. Because I think that it helps you pay attention to not only your rank as a coach, but the actual success of your business, because the leadership ladder focuses on the success of the coaches under you in their business. So a lot of you guys are pushing to diamond, and the next kind of leadership ladder rung that you should be getting to after diamond, if you're not already there, is team leader. And team leader just basically means that you have a really strong diamond, because your diamond isn't just built on discount coaches or family members or anything like that. It means that it's built on people who are like-minded to you, that are working the business and that are doing something. So I think that learning the leadership ladder is a really incredible tool for you as a leader, for you in your own business, to kind of give you stepping stones to navigate beyond just rank, but how do I get to business success, longevity, a solid foundation to my business. So who better than to talk about the leadership ladder than somebody from corporate? So tonight I am so excited because we have the incredible, passionate, brilliant, talented, everything Keichun Graves here. She is the Southeast 2 to 5 star diamond regional director, but she's so much more than that. She is someone who is always helping, always giving of herself, always sharing really great tips and ideas. So she's going to talk to you guys a little bit about how you can kind of look to the leadership ladder and incorporate it more into your business. So I'm going to go ahead and hand it over to you, Keichun, if you want to unmute.
Awesome. Can you hear me okay, Becca? Awesome. Well, thank you so much for that warm introduction. And thank you, team, for allowing me to join the team call. I think I might have heard that there are upwards to 500 coaches who will be listening to this playback. And I hope that you leaders are patting yourselves on the back, because that is a huge deal, the impact that you're having in the lives that are positively changing and moving in the right direction because of you. So way to go. Like Becca mentioned, I'm Keichun, and I am the Southeast Regional Manager. I get the pleasure of working with the 2 through 5 stars. I've been with Beachbody now for about 3 years. And as I was preparing for this conversation, and knowing that you all are going to be talking about the leadership ladder, and knowing that you guys are on such an amazing team, I figured, what can I say about the leadership ladder that Becca and that the rest of the leaders on this aren't going to be sharing. And so today I'm taking a little bit different approach. Tonight I like to talk about having a champion mindset. So if you're on this call, that means that you've made a serious and outward commitment to achieving the next rung, right? The next huge benchmark in your business. So that leads me to believe that you all have what it takes to be champions. So tonight, I just want to briefly gut check your champion mindset. Roger Clemens, who is a baseball genius, top 50 baseball player of all time, one of only 9 to score 1,000 strikeouts with 2 teams, spent a quarter of a century playing in the major leagues, a true champion, right? He once said that anything is possible if you have the mindset and the will and desire to do it and put the time in. So let's get started, champions. A fun fact about me is that I've been a runner my entire life. Since I could pretty much walk, I ran. You know, I was in summer running clubs, and by the time I was 11, I was running year round. And that's cross country, that was indoor track, that was outdoor track. I mean, literally year around running. But one thing became known as the kind of the Keichun. And that was the way that I would finish my races. But let me tell you how this started. And it started with a mile race, and that's 4 laps around the track. One spring afternoon, way back when I was in middle school. I had led the entire race team. But then something happened. Something game-changing happened. Going into the first turn on my 3rd lap, I hit a wall. And man, did I hit that wall. I mean, I slammed into that baby. But I still maintained a lead that was growing smaller by the millisecond. And she knew I was dying. I was giving her all the signs. My head was failing around. You know, my arms were far away from my body. I mean, reliving it is even kind of hard for me right now. But I was giving her all the signs that I was dying. And then something magical happened. She caught me. She caught me right before the start of the last lap, right in front of everyone with 450 meters to go. Now, if you guys know anything about track, right there at that finish start line, that's where typically your team and your coaches are. That's where they're recording your times and they're yelling at your splits. That's also where the bleachers to the track open and start. So that's where all the fans are standing and yelling and screaming. That's where your team is. So when she passed me in front of everyone, it seemed like everyone was literally right there. And the entire crowd went wild, namely her team. And as soon as she passed me, as soon as the crowd went wild, I immediately looked at my coach. I made eye contact with him, and I read his lips, and they said, "You better go." Then I heard my mother from way up in the bleachers yelling, "You better not let that girl beat you, Keichun." And yes, she was that crazy mom who run laps up and down the track with you. But I heard them. And I didn't want her to win either because I had big goals and I believed in me. And so with 200 meters left in the race, I leaned in and I leaned in hard. And at this point, she had not only passed me, but she had also gained about 15 to 20 meters on me. I kicked it in like I had never kicked it in before. Like I was running a 200-meter race, not finishing my mile. I had completely forgotten about the wall I just hit. How my legs felt like concrete jello, barely could even lift them when I initially slammed into that wall, completely forgetting that I was just embarrassed in front of the entire crowd when she blew past me after I led the entire race. But I believed in me, and I wanted the title more than I cared about the pain. And if I died, because that was a legitimate concern in my mind, I knew that I would have died leaving it all out on the field. So despite the wall that I had just hit just 500 meters ago, I kicked it into a gear that I never even knew existed in my body. With my sweat mixing with my tears and my tears turning into fuel, I propelled and I pulled it off and I won the race. And I lived to tell it. That's right, team, I did not die. So from there on out, no matter where I was in a race, whether it was first or whether it was last, I finished it with a kick that was so strong and so powerful, it left people in awe. Why? Because even as a 12-year-old sixth grader running the mile, I had big plans to go to college. And this had been embedded in my mind since I could speak, it felt like. And that's my mother saying, "Keichun, if you want to go to college, you better run fast because that's the only way that we're going to be able to afford it." And that's what I believed. And so I had no other choice but to believe in me and to believe that I'm a champion. So what do I want you to take away from this story? I have 2 big takeaways for you. The first takeaway is to set yourself up to be in a position to move positively towards the attainment of your goal, knowing that there are no shortcuts to achieving it and that people are watching. Well, that was a few takeaways in one. But what do I mean by that? What do I mean by setting yourself up in the position to move positively towards the attainment of your goals, knowing that there are no shortcuts and the people are watching? I get coaches all the time who ask, how do I know if I'm doing well in this business? One great way for you to determine how you're doing in certain benchmarks in this business, and a way to set yourself up for ultimate success because of your strong foundation, is with the leadership ladder, which coincides with what you all are discussing this week. So I'm not going to go into much detail, but guys, if you have big goals for yourself and for your team, you're going to have to start meeting those leadership ladder benchmarks, and you're going to have to start encouraging your team to do the same. So I believe that most people on this call, if not all, are pushing for diamond. So a reason for you all to think bigger than diamond by focusing on the leadership ladder is because by focusing on the rungs to reach team leader will mean that you've created that stability and are setting yourself up for that ultimate success. And you're setting yourself up to be duplicated. Remember that people, namely your team, namely your prospects, are watching, and we want them to be watching us. Coach ranks provide that basic framework, and the leadership ladder goes beyond and thus creates the stability and the growth to better position yourself and your team to achieve the goals you all have set to accomplish. Right? The benchmarks are no different than those required to achieve various coach ranks. However, the intensity of how coaches apply that knowledge and engage in the activities will help you all better achieve the leadership ladder benchmarks. So I want to take this a step back. Let me explain the benchmarks, and please be sure that you get in your FAQ and that you become truly abreast of what these benchmarks mean. But what are the benchmarks for Team Builder? That's Emerald or Ruby. That's consistently earning $250 a month. That's consistently helping 3 or more people hitting Success Club 5. That's helping at least 2 of your personally sponsored coaches help at least 1 person with the challenge pack. That's helping 2 PS coaches earn at least 1 Success Club point. And that's having your team volume on that weak leg consistently at around the 200 volume a month. So if you're near the diamond rank and you haven't met the benchmarks for Team Builder, that's okay. Right? Don't beat yourself up, but remember that the benchmarks are just that. They're benchmarks to keep you on track, and it's never too late to put the focus on those activities to build the stability. So if you are near diamond, you have not achieved the Team Builder benchmarks, set to achieve those benchmarks ASAP, as soon as possible. And remember, to do so is by focusing on those activities. Remember, whatever you focus on is what your team is going to focus on. And so since they're watching because we want them to, because we want to duplicate ourselves, we have to be sure that we're setting our team up for ultimate success too. And then, of course, the benchmarks for team leader are diamond rank, and that's earning $1,000 consistently a month. That's helping 3 or more people. That's Success Club 5. And that's helping 4 of your person sponsored coaches help at least 1 people every month. That's helping 4 of your person sponsored coaches earn at least 1 Success Club point. And that's bringing your weak leg volume to about 5,000 consistently per month. So why do we focus on rank? Well, rank benchmarks, that means your bonuses, cycle potential. You don't even start to cycle and earn your income until you're at the emerald rank, right? Meeting certain qualifications like premier. You need to be 2-star diamond to be a premier coach, like elite. You'll want to be a 5-star diamond to be an elite team, right? New leader conference, the leadership conference, recognition at events. Those are some reasons to focus on rank. Why focus on Success Club? No matter what your goals are, Success Club has been proven to be a great tracking system. Hitting it not only keeps you consistent with the number of people that you're helping a month, it also keeps you consistent with your earnings. And it grants you exclusive training and travel opportunity. Like this month, we did one-on-one masterminding calls with Autumn Calabrese and Jeff Hill and Carl Deichler. Last month, we did it with Bo Eason. Travel opportunities. Do you know that people are earning their cruise for free? So also a recognition tool, but ultimately Success Club is a way to outwardly say I've made the commitment to helping people and I'm shooting for at least 3 people per month with the challenge pack. Those are just a few reasons why you focus on Success Club. Why do I put the focus on volume? Well, volume translates to income, and income is a big why for most of us. So focus on developing yourself and then develop your team. Duplicate. People are watching and we want them to. So why put the focus on building your team? Well, in the pursuit of achieving your goals, the best way is to help others achieve theirs. That's what this business is all about. It's about helping others achieve their goals to live healthy and fulfilling lives. So be sure that you're duplicating your successful behaviors, right? Go alone if you want to go fast, go together if you want to go far. This is a forever business that depends on your tribe and the mindset of your tribe. And using the leadership ladder as benchmarks is a great way to instill a champion mindset in your team. Here's a side note for you. Be sure that you're building your team and you're not just working with the coaches who are currently on your team. Meaning, keep your pipeline full. At the diamond rank, right, you should be spending about 80% of your day keeping your pipeline full and building your business, hitting Success Club, leading by example, your personal invites, and about 20% of your day on your team. Those are implementing your trainings and developing your trainings and your one-on-one calls and your mastermind calls. At the diamond rank, 80% of your day should be spent on your business and keeping your pipeline full, bringing on new coaches to work with, and 20% working with those that you already have. So how are you doing with your time management? Also, be sure that when setting these team goals, that it is their goal, right? When you begin to push your goals on others or lose their best interest, that's when you begin to digress from achieving your goals. So focus and develop yourself and then duplicate, but be sure that it's truly a team goal and not a goal that you're pushing off on the team. So set yourself up to be in the position to move positively towards the attainment of your goal, knowing that there's no shortcuts to achieving it and that people are watching because we want them to. The second thing I want you to take away from my story is I want you all to lean in. I want you all to lean in and I want you all to lean hard and finish this baby strong. Finish August strong, finish Cup Month strong, finish 2015 strong, and definitely finish your push to the next rung strong. There's still plenty of time left for you to get it done. I think I heard that the goal for you all that you all set for yourself was September 10th. Guys, there's plenty of time left for you to get it done. Now, with that being said, this is the time of year that we have to remember our why and frequently visit our goals and our vision boards from the beginning of the year. This is the time of year where we really get to see who has it in them to achieve their goals. This is the time of year when excuses come up more often. It's a slow time of year. Kids are going back to school, holidays, traveling, you name it. It can be an excuse. I want to challenge you all to move beyond your excuses because that's what champions do. That's what leaders do. That's what people on a mission to achieve their goals do. And you have to be flexible in adapting to a change of speed. Perhaps you have to dig deeper this month to achieve the goals that come easier in other months. It's okay, champions. Champions adapt because our goals don't change with the time of the year. So leadership ladder benchmarks. It's August. It's slower. Who cares? Because what I do know is that 2 of 3 people are overweight in the United States. There are people out there that we can help, that need our help, that are waiting for us to reach out to them. It's up to you though, team. I believe in you. Do you believe in you? Do you believe in yourself? What can you do? Dial in your daily behavior. Stay laser focused on those business producing activities and don't let noise interfere with your progress. What do I mean by that? I mean the things that are not conducive to you achieving your goals. For instance, training is necessary and it's great, but right now, with what 11 days go to achieve your goal, right now is not the time to develop or reinvent wheels. Right now is the time to implement. Right now is the time to ensure that what is being taught by yourself and is being implemented by yourself and within your organization, within your team, right? It's go time. Right now is not the time to redevelop those training. right now is the time to implement what we're doing. We're doing hands-on training. It's go time. So anything is possible if you have the mindset and the will and desire to do it and put the time in. Our coaches are no different than you. Our top coaches are no different than you. Their moms, their dads, their husbands, their wives, some have 10 kids, some have no kids, some are in college, some have several businesses that they own. Nothing makes them different. So I challenge you all to turn up that intensity, to kick it into a gear that you didn't even know existed in your body, and finish this baby strong. And if you're having doubts about your champion mindset, begin to focus on those leadership ladders, because that's how you instill champion mindset. Guys, that is just what champions do. And like I mentioned at the beginning of this call, if you're on this call, I truly believe that you are already champions, and this was just gut check time. So let's get her done. I believe in you. Do you believe in you? Let's turn up the intensity. Let's lean in. Let's lean hard, and let's get her done. That's all I have for you. Becca, I'll turn the call back over to you.
Thank you, Keichun. Do you mind hanging out for just a couple minutes to answer a few of the questions that came into the chat?
Sure.
Okay, let me go and look. If you guys have any more questions for, oh, I forgot we're on a delay, so it might take a second. If you guys have any more questions for Keichun, please go ahead and write them in the chat so I can see them. Everybody's saying thank you, thank you, thank you. Let's give them a second to catch up with us. Hey guys, if you have any questions, go ahead and write them in so I can ask her. Now I can't go back and scroll because everybody's saying how awesome you are, Keichun.
Oh, awesome.
And so I lost all of the old questions. So guys, ask them again if you have any questions about this. While I'm waiting for the delay to catch up with the chat window, I wanted to say, first of all, Keichun, when I grow up, I want to be a public speaker like you because you're so passionate, and I love listening to you talk because you always have like these little nuggets that I want to like pull out and like post on sticky notes all over my house. One of the ones that as soon as you said it in my head, I was like, preach! That was so good. Was our goals don't change with the time of year. So I think that it's so funny that people just get in their head that something is going to be hard, and then it's like a self-fulfilling prophecy, you know? Mm-hmm. So I started my coaching career in the fall. I started in mid-August. And so I literally built my business through a time of year that people get stuck on. And so in my head, I've never thought that the fall is that hard. I just thought like this is normal and spring is easy, you know, like that's just kind of how it goes. So I love that you said that, because I think that that mentality is so important, that your goal that you had in New Year, it doesn't change just because it's not New Year anymore. Like that was such a great one to me. And then I love the way you said this, because I'd never, like I kind of knew it, but I couldn't figure out the words to explain it, is that the leadership ladder rungs, they're not necessarily more requirements, they're just more intensity. Like I really liked that. Like it's not necessarily more than diamond, because you already have the things in place. It's just like more intense diamond, like stronger, more intense. And then that last quote that you said at the end, the leadership ladder instills champion mindset. Like I just want that like on a banner, like across my office wall. I thought that was so good. Okay, so I have some questions coming in. One is, what would you say to a coach who is doubting their ability to be a top coach? So someone who thinks like maybe success isn't in the cards for them.
So the first thing is, what personal development are you doing, and making sure that whatever you're doing is filling you up with that confidence. And then two, it definitely starts with you. You have to believe, but I don't even know who you are, and I believe that you can do it. Why? Because there are other people out there that are no different than you. Like I mentioned, and I say this every team call, this is something that I say every team call because I'm very passionate about. Our top coaches are truly no different than you. They're moms, they're dads, they're husbands, their wives, their granddads, their grandmas. Some have 10 jobs, some have no jobs, some have stay-at-home moms and have been that way forever. Some have retired, some have had businesses before. I mean, truly nothing makes them different besides their mindset and them making the decision to get it done. So if you want it, get in your personal development, visualize it, believe it, and then just do the activities one step at a time to get you there.
That's great. That's That's perfect. I don't have anything to add. Another one that is one that everybody, as soon as someone asked it, everyone was like, yes, yes. Can you expound on when you said the next 11 days should not be reinventing the wheel or developing, it should be doing, as far as the people who are trying to close out their goals for their rank advancement during this group?
Okay, so what often happens, because training is fun, well, maybe it is to me. I like training. I like developing training. I like figuring out what the team needs and working to redevelop things to make sure they have all the tools and resources, right? Right now, as we're closing in towards the achievement of this big run, this big goal that we have, right now is not the time to redevelop and revise. Right now, it's go time. Right now, it's time for you to take those lessons that you've learned, for you to encourage your team to take those lessons that you've taught and to implement them. So is it still training involved? For sure, but this is more on the go, training as you go. So training is necessary. I want to make sure that I make that very clear. I'm not saying don't train, but what I'm saying is that right now, while we have 11 days left to rank in the bank, for this group, let's not be focusing on the reinventing, or let's not be focusing on the implementing. Let's focus on the do. The activity, the business producing activities that's going to get you closer to the attainment of your goal. Does that answer the question, or is that still vague?
That makes sense to me. You can tell me if I'm right. What I think you're saying is this isn't the time to go out and spend all your time trying to redo your new coach training or your new groups or whatever. This is the time for doing the vital behaviors, the things that you know work, and the things that are not escapes from the vital behaviors or busy work. It's the income producing activities, it's the inviting, it's the sharing, it's the reaching out, it's the following up, all of those kind of things.
Yes, ma'am. That's exactly it.
All right, one last question, because we're at 9:28, so this should be perfect timing to get us out by 9:30, is how, and I think this is something that, I know that's something that the coaches on my team struggle with. Everyone is so afraid to be too much, So how do you, let me read it exactly. How do you push your team without being frantic? In other words, I don't want to drag anyone, but I also want to light a fire under my coaches.
So how do you push your team without being frantic? I'm assuming, like, for instance, we have a goal to be, like, they have a goal to hit diamond.
Yeah, so I guess it's like, how do you motivate your team, especially when you're trying to push for something? Because you have to find that balance between motivating them and also not pushing your own goals on them, I think is maybe another way to say it.
So I think that, first of all, we need to get their goal. And then based on their goals, right, we come up with based on our goals, we come up with this team goal. Hey guys, I think that our team is a top team, right? Position it as a team goal, and if they want in. So, hey guys, I think that our team is a top team. I think that we can really, be in the top 1%. After talking to Keichun, after talking to Becca, after talking to whomever, I really realized that nothing separates us. Nothing makes us different from those teams that I saw at Summit being recognized as premier and elite teams. So these are some of the things that we need to do to be a premier and elite team. I think that we can do it. Who's with me, right? So let's open it up to make it a team goal, and then get their goal, get their buy-in. Are they with you with this goal? And if they are not, then there you go, And if they are, then it's a team goal at that point. And so then you can ask them, okay, so how would you like for me to best support you if you begin to fall short of your goal? And this is how, you can best support me if I begin to fall short, right? Make it a team accountability towards this team-wide goal. That's how you encourage and motivate, because we don't want to push anything. And I'm sure you didn't mean it like that, but I said it like that.
Perfect. All right. I am going to go ahead and call it because it's 9:30 and I want to honor your time because you were so gracious to give us a bunch of it. So thank you so much, Keichun. Thank you to everybody watching live, everyone who's going to be watching the recording. Thank you again from the bottom of my heart. You are amazing. I appreciate so much everything you do and all of your heart that you pour into all of us to help us be successful as well.
You're so welcome. Love you anytime. Bye, team. Let's get it done.
Night.
Bye.